Okay, let's jump right into it. Welcome to today's Explainer, guys. If you're a focused learner aiming for the medical field, gearing up for the NEET 2027 exam can honestly feel like standing at the absolute base of a massive mountain. You know the feeling, right? You're at zero level, looking up, and the sheer volume of information just seems completely overwhelming. But here's the secret. You can absolutely conquer this summit. You just need the right strategy, the right mindset, and crystal clarity from day one. So today, we're giving you your ultimate day one roadmap. We're going to clear the fog, structure your approach, and give you the exact blueprint to start your NEET 2027 journey with unstoppable momentum.
To lower your cognitive load right off the bat, here's our 5-step agenda for today. 1. Decoding the 720-mark exam. 2. The updated NEET syllabus. 3. The Golden Rule NCERT. 4. Basic maths for physics. And 5. Your day one action plan. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Decoding the 720-mark exam.
Look at that number, 720. That is the total maximum score for the NEET exam. And yet, when you first hear it, it sounds incredibly intimidating. But I need you to shift your perspective right now. It's really just a number. It's a target we can break down strategically into different subjects and chapters. You don't get to 720 in one giant leap. You get there step by step, mark by mark.
And here's exactly how that pie is sliced. Check this out. Biology makes up exactly half. That's 360 marks, meaning 90 out of the 180 total questions are just bio. Physics and chemistry, they split the remaining half evenly, with 180 marks each. So the big takeaway here is that biology alone decides 50% of your NEET rank. No joke. Knowing this from day one lets you prioritize your study time. You absolutely cannot afford to sleep on biology.
Moving on to Section 2, the updated NEET syllabus.
Now that we know what the summit looks like, we've got to map out the terrain. And to do that, we're looking directly at the official National Medical Commission public notice. This is the document that finalizes the updated study material guidelines for NEET UG. It is absolutely critical that your roadmap is based on official, updated sources like this one. We want to make sure every single chapter you're pouring your energy into is actually going to be on the test.
So taking that official notice, here is how it translates into our actual study structure. We've cleanly laid out the updated unit counts for you. It's physics with units 1 through 20, chemistry with units 1 through 20, and biology covering units 1 through 10. That is your exact terrain. You now know precisely how much ground you need to cover over your prep timeline. See? It's no longer this endless, scary ocean of textbooks. It's exactly 50 well-defined units. Super manageable.
All right, Section 3, the Golden Rule, NCERT.
With our map defined, it's time to pack our essential gear. And I really want to hammer home this powerful quote from our top sources. NCERT is the backbone of NEET. Let that sink in. This crowns the NCERT textbook as the absolute, non-negotiable tool for cracking this exam. Like we saw earlier, biology holds 50% of the weightage, right? Well, 90% of those biology questions come directly from NCERT lines, diagrams, tables, and definitions. Inorganic chemistry is pretty much the exact same story. Literally, if your NCERT foundation isn't rock solid, nothing else is going to stand.
Let's debunk a massive myth right now, one that traps so many beginners. The wrong way to do this is hoarding 10 different thick reference books, thinking more books magically equals more knowledge. Honestly, it just leads to burnout and a whole lot of confusion. The right way, the way the top scorers actually do it, is reading NCERT line by line, creating micronotes, and pairing it with just one high-quality MCQ book per subject for targeted practice. Remember this, one book revised 3 times absolutely beats 3 books read once, every single time.
On to Section 4, Basic Math for Physics. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room that gives so many medical aspirants anxiety. Why study math for a medical exam? It's a super common, totally fair question. Well, the truth is, mathematics is the foundational language of physics. Without a solid grasp of basic maths, trying to understand physics principles like mechanics, thermodynamics, or electromagnetism is going to be nearly impossible. The exam tests your conceptual clarity, sure, but it also forces you to use mathematical tools to actually calculate the answers. Think of it this way, if you don't speak the language, you simply can't read the book. So what exactly do we mean by basic maths? It really boils down to these essentials: algebra, trigonometry, basic calculus, which is your integration and differentiation, and vectors. You literally have to master these concepts before you tackle those early physics chapters. For example, analyzing the slope of a velocity time graph, that requires basic calculus. Understanding forces in motion in a plane,
that absolutely demands a solid grip on vectors.
To help you out, here is a highly structured, immediate mini-schedule to apply these math tools to your first foundational physics unit, kinematics, or motion in a straight line. Days 1 and 2, you're focusing on basic definitions, scalars, vectors, and motion. Days 3 and 4, you move into acceleration and understanding those crucial graphs we just mentioned. And Day 5 introduces relative velocity and freefall. By weaving your basic maths into a structured, step-by-step timeline just like this, you build immediate momentum. You turn a scary subject into a predictable, totally manageable process.
Finally, Section 5, your Day 1 Action Plan.
We've covered the what, the why, and the how. Now it's time for your specific marching orders for today. When you sit down to study, please don't just randomly pick chapters. We highly recommend starting with these specific high-priority conceptual foundations. For physics, start with basic maths and mechanics. For chemistry, start with general organic chemistry, or GOC, because nailing GOC makes the rest of organic chemistry a breeze. And for biology, dive straight into human physiology. It carries heavy weightage, and it's honestly incredibly fascinating. Getting these structural bases locked in now is going to pay massive dividends over the next 2 years.
To completely wipe out any feeling of being overwhelmed, I want to leave you with 3 literal, actionable tasks to execute today. Step 1, get your hands on the official Class 11 and 12 NCERT books for biology, chemistry, and physics. Step 2, make a realistic weekly schedule that allocates specific hours for each subject, making sure to prioritize biology. And Step 3, open those books and start studying your basic math and your foundational PCB units. You're officially transitioning from just dreaming about medical school to actively taking control of your preparation.
We've laid out the entire roadmap. You know the score breakdown, you know the updated syllabus units, you know the NCERT golden rule, and you have your Day 1 action plan. The path to the summit of NEET 2027 is right there in front of you. The only question left is this: are you ready to take Step 1? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, guys. I wish you the absolute best on this journey. Now let's go get to work.